All right, so are you ready to dive into a bit of a musical mystery?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you sent us down this Den Harrow rabbit hole,
Right.
specifically a song called Overpower.
Okay.
And we're going to try to figure out, if a seemingly simple dance track can actually, like, pack some deeper meaning.
I love that challenge.
Right.
We've got the lyrics from songlyrics.com,
Okay.
which seems to indicate Overpower is also the name of the album it's from.
Ah.
That's always a good place to start.
Right.
Understanding the context of a piece.
Exactly. And just glancing at these lyrics, the first thing that jumps out at me is that repetition.
Yeah.
Overpower.
Yeah.
It's catchy, almost hypnotic.
It is.
I can definitely see how that would work on a dance floor, but is there something more going on here musically?
Well, repetition is a powerful tool,
Okay.
especially in dance music.
Yeah.
It creates anticipation, builds energy, and draws you in. It's
Yeah.
almost primal, tapping into something deep within us that responds to rhythm and repetition.
Okay. So it's not just about being catchy.
Yeah,
There's an actual psychological effect at play.
exactly.
I'm already intrigued.
Good.
And then we move on to the lyrics themselves.
Right.
And there's this interesting contrast between rainy dreams and sunny beams,
Mm.
cold light and sympathy. It feels like there's a transformation happening.
Yeah.
Almost like the song itself is breaking free from something dark and moving towards something brighter.
You picked up on that shift perfectly.
Yeah.
It's almost a classic narrative arc.
Right.
Starting in a place of negativity and then moving towards a resolution,
Yeah.
a kind of overcoming.
Right.
But what's interesting is that the lyrics don't explicitly tell us what's being overcome. It's more about the feeling, the energy of that transformation.
And then, bam, the call to action hits.
Yes.
Dancing all night, singing
Yeah.
along, moving to the drums.
Yeah.
It's definitely got that party anthem vibe.
For sure.
But there's also this sense of aspiration woven in, right?
Absolutely.
Touch the sky, dancing like a star, moving like a god, fly so high. It's all very evocative.
These lines suggest a transcendence, almost a superhuman ability.
Yeah.
It makes me think about the whole Italo disco scene that Den Harrow was part of.
Okay.
There was a real emphasis on escapism, on creating these larger-than-life personas.
Right.
So maybe Overpower is tapping into that,
Yeah.
using these aspirational images to create a sense of liberation and power on the dance floor.
I see what you mean. It's not just about dancing, it's about becoming something more.
Yeah.
But then there are these lines that seem to contradict that whole striving for greatness vibe.
Yeah.
The rhythm will take you into nowhere land. Sink your feet into the sand.
Oh.
That sounds more like surrender than striving, right?
Mm.
Almost like giving yourself over to something bigger.
You've hit on something really fascinating here.
Yeah.
On the surface, those lines seem at odds with the aspirational imagery.
Right?
But what if nowhere land isn't a negative place?
Okay.
What if it represents a state of pure freedom?
Right.
A place where you can let go of all your inhibitions and just be.
Whoa, I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah.
So maybe overpower is less about achieving something specific and more about surrendering to the moment,
Right.
letting the music take you wherever it wants to go.
That's one way to interpret it.
Wow.
And it actually ties back to the idea of Italo disco as a genre.
Okay.
It was all about losing yourself in the music,
Mm.
escaping from everyday life into this world of synthesizers and driving beats.
Right.
So maybe nowhere land is a metaphor for that escape,
Okay.
that feeling of being completely swept away by the music.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like the song is saying, don't overthink it, just let go and let the rhythm take over.
Exactly.
But I'm curious if Den Harrow was performing this in the Italo disco era, what kind of musical arrangement would have accompanied these lyrics?
That's where it gets really interesting.
I don't-
Italo disco was known for its distinctive sound,
Yeah.
heavy synthesizers,
Right.
driving bass lines, and often a very melodic, almost operatic vocal style.
Wow.
And the structure of the songs often built towards these ecstatic,
Yeah.
euphoric climaxes.
So you're saying the music itself would have mirrored that feeling of being overpowered,
Exactly.
of being swept away by something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
I can definitely see how that would work.
The music and lyrics work together to create this immersive, almost transcendental experience. And that's what makes Overpower so intriguing. It's
Yeah.
not just a song. It's
Yeah.
a portal to a specific time and place.
Interesting.
A cultural moment that was all about embracing excess, escaping reality,
Right.
and losing yourself in the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's worth noting that this idea of being overpowered by something bigger than yourself.
Right.
It wasn't limited to Italo disco.
Right.
It was a recurring theme in a lot of 80s music, from synth pop to arena rock.
Yeah.
It was a time of big emotions, big sounds, and a sense that anything was possible.
So Den Harrow wasn't necessarily doing something totally unique.
Right.
But he was tapping into a larger cultural zeitgeist.
Exactly.
That's fascinating. But getting back to Overpower specifically,
Yeah.
you talked about the lyrics, the music, the cultural context.
Right.
Is there anything in the structure of the song itself that contributes to this feeling of being overpowered?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it brings up a key concept in music theory: dynamics.
Okay.
Dynamics refer to the variations in volume and intensity within a piece of music.
Got it.
Think about a song that starts softly and gradually builds to a crescendo.
Right.
That's using dynamics to create a sense of drama and anticipation.
Okay, so how would that apply to Overpower?
Okay.
Does the song build in intensity as it goes along?
Based on what we know about Italo disco,
Yeah.
it's likely that Overpower follows a fairly standard structure.
Right.
Verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
Yeah.
And within that structure, there's a lot of room to play with dynamics. For example, the verses might start with a more stripped-down arrangement,
Right.
focusing on the vocals and maybe a simple synth line.
Yeah.
Then as the song moves into the chorus, the drums kick in,
Right.
the bass line becomes more prominent,
Yeah.
and the synths become more layered and complex.
So the music itself is mirroring the lyrical themes of transformation and transcendence.
Exactly.
It's like you're literally being lifted up by the sound. That's pretty cool.
And it's something you see in a lot of different genres.
Yeah.
Think about gospel music, for example.
Okay.
There's often a call and response pattern between the singer and the choir,
Right.
and the music gradually builds to this ecstatic climax.
Right.
Or even in classical music, you have movements that start quietly and build to these huge, overwhelming crescendos.
Yeah.
It's all about using dynamics to create an emotional and visceral experience for the listener.
I'm starting to realize that there's so much more to music than just the melody and the lyrics.
Absolutely.
The arrangement, the
Yeah.
structure, the dynamics.
Yeah.
It all plays a role in how we experience a song.
It's one of the things that makes music such a powerful form of communication.
Right.
It can bypass our logical minds and speak directly to our emotions.
You mentioned earlier that Overpower is probably part of a larger album of the same name.
Right.
Do we know anything about the other songs on that album?
We do have some clues.
Okay.
The track list includes songs like Bad Boy, Charleston, Future Brain, and Mad Desire.
Oh, wow.
These titles definitely suggest a sense of energy, rebelliousness, and maybe even a touch of danger.
I like where you're going with this.
Yeah.
It sounds like the album as a whole might be exploring different facets of power,
Right.
different ways of breaking free from constraints
Yeah.
and embracing your individuality.
Exactly. And if we consider Overpower as the title track,
Right.
perhaps it's suggesting that this sense of liberation, of being swept away by something bigger than yourself,
Right.
is a central theme throughout the entire album. Each song could be a different exploration of that same idea, using different musical styles and lyrical themes to create a multifaceted experience.
That's such a great point. It's making me want to listen to the whole album and see how all these themes play out.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much depth we're finding in what initially seemed like a simple dance track.
It's a reminder that even seemingly surface-level music can hold hidden depths.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to dig a little deeper to find the real meaning.
So true. But let's not get too lost in the academic analysis.
Right.
At the end of the day, music is about feeling right.
Absolutely.
What does all this talk about Overpower actually mean for someone listening to it today?
Right.
What kind of experience might they have?
That's a great question. And I think it comes down to individual interpretation.
Right.
For some people, Overpower might just be a catchy dance track that gets them moving.
Right.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Right. Sometimes you just want to let loose and have fun.
Exactly. But for others, Overpower might spark something deeper. It might evoke memories, feelings, or even a sense of longing for a time and place they never experienced. It might make them think about their own relationship with power,
Right.
how they wield it, how they surrender to it, how it shapes their lives.
That's a really interesting perspective. It's like the song is acting as a kind of mirror,
Yeah.
reflecting back our own personal experiences and interpretations.
And precisely, and that's what makes music so fascinating.
Yeah.
It can mean something different to every single person who hears it.
Right.
There's no right or wrong interpretation.
And that's the beauty of music, right?
Yeah.
It can be this incredibly personal and subjective experience.
Right.
Yet it also has the power to connect us to something much larger than ourselves.
Absolutely. It's like this
Okay.
universal language that transcends cultural boundaries.
Right.
We might not understand the words of a song in another language,
Right.
but we can still feel the emotion, the energy, the rhythm.
It's true. And I think that's what makes this deep dive into Overpower so fascinating.
Yeah.
We started with just these lyrics on a page,
Right.
and we've gone on this incredible journey exploring the music, the culture, the psychology, even the physics of sound.
It's been quite an adventure.
It has.
And I think it speaks to the power of curiosity.
Not.
When we take the time to really examine something, to ask questions and explore different perspectives, we can uncover so much more than we ever expected.
I couldn't agree more. But before we wrap things up, I want to circle back to our listener,
Okay.
the one who sent us down this Den Harrow rabbit hole.
Right.
You've been listening to us dissect this song.
Right.
But what does it all mean for you?
Well, I think this deep dive has given us a framework for understanding Overpower,
Okay.
but ultimately the meaning is up to each individual listener to decide.
Right.
What resonates with you?
Right.
What emotions does the song evoke?
Yeah.
How does it make you feel?
Those are great questions. And maybe this deep dive has inspired you to go on your own musical exploration.
I hope so.
Think about the songs that overpower you,
Hmm.
the ones that transport you, transform you, connect you to something bigger.
Yeah.
What are those songs, and what is it about them that speaks to you so deeply?
Perhaps it's the driving beat that makes you want to move, or
Yeah.
the soaring vocals that give you chills.
Right?
Maybe it's the lyrics that perfectly capture a feeling you've never been able to put into words.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's simply the overall sound of the music that creates a visceral,
Yeah.
emotional response within you.
Whatever it is, I encourage you to embrace those moments of musical connection. Let the music wash over you, transport you, transform you, because that's the power of music,
Right.
to take us on journeys we never could have imagined.
Beautifully said. And on that note, I think it's time for us to say goodbye for now.
Great.
But before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Right.
The next time you hear a song that really moves you, don't just let it play in the background.
Right.
Take a moment to really listen.
Okay.
Pay attention to the lyrics, the music, the way it makes you feel.
Right.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
That's great advice, and who knows, maybe your own musical explorations will lead you to send us on a whole new deep dive adventure in the future.
That would be great.
Until then, keep listening, keep exploring, and keep letting the music overpower you in the best possible way.
I like it.